pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
My bitch a choosy lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in the sheets like it on top of the cover. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor. Top notch hoes, get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the buck for $40 in the club. Fucking up the game, bitch, it gets no love. She be cross country, giving all that she got. 1,000 a pop, I'm pulling business off the lot. I smashed up the gray one, bought me a red. Every time we hit the parking lot, we turn head. Some hoes wanna choose, but them bitches too scary. Your bitch chose me, you ain't a pimp, you a fairy.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope y'all have been good. Happy Wednesday. Got an interesting show for you guys tonight. As promised, we are doing yet another JCS breakdown. This time of a case that I have heard of before. The case of Dalia Dipolitto. I won't spoil everything, though. If you guys have know who she is and what happened to her, you guys kind of have the idea of it. What I didn't know is that, and again, shout out to JCS. Link of the video is pinned and in the description. But I found out a little bit more information than I originally thought was the case. A lot more background story between the two of these people, the two people involved here, that I didn't know beforehand. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. Really appreciate you guys coming in. And without any further delay, oh shit, I forgot my. Do you guys want my heart rate monitor? I forgot to put that damn thing on. All right, fine. Put it on. Yeah, I'll be back. Sorry. Always be prepared for the live streams. Oh yeah. I think this one's gonna be one that's gonna raise my heart rate. Oh, by the way, before I forget, I did get something from you guys really quick before I forget. I got another package from one of you listeners out there. Oh my god, for the life of me, your username is completely forgotten me. But she sent a drawing of, I think this is supposed to be Winston, that she made for me. Fat cats need love too, and a nice card. Hey, hi. Let me see here. Let's see, Artie. Well, hello there. Big fan here. I'm glad you finally got a P.O. box. This drawing has been sitting around my house for a while, and it seems perfect for you. All of my artwork finds its home eventually. Fat Cat Drawing has chosen you. Much love. Keep it up. Ange. Well, thank you very much, Ange. That was very sweet of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And yes, I will definitely have to pull it a nice place to display for you. Anyway, let's keep that. Ooh, you know what? I want to put this somewhere here for safekeeping, so I can make sure I don't step on it. All right, let's get the show on the road. Thank you, Oh yeah, by the way, a little bit of layout tweaks. I know Kick and SC, they love, they do shout outs to the members. I feel like I don't do that enough. And so I'm, in my live streams now, at the bottom right here, is a scrolling tag. Well, all of my members of this channel. So that's my shout out to you guys. And on the other side is just a highlight of, the most recent super chats, the most recent tips, and all that jazz for you guys. So anyway, let's get the show on the road.
Of October 2009, the sun began to set over the South Atlantic coast, and the wealthy city of Boynton Beach started to settle down for a Sunday evening. It was around that time when 38-year-old entrepreneur Michael Dipolitto, whose wife was out of town, decided it would be a good idea to hire an escort for the night. Just 35 minutes after calling the service, 26-year-old Dalia Mohammed showed up at his front door. Just 2 weeks after their first acquaintance, Michael filed for divorce from his wife of 7 years and proposed to Dalia with a $20,000 engagement ring.
So he's kind of an asshole.
She said yes. It appeared as though the concept of love at first sight wasn't exclusive to fairy tales, and Michael had finally met his princess. Or so he thought.
You're the devil in disguise.
Ah! Oh, nope. Copyright. By the way, I'm drinking Ship Bottom blonde ale.
Hey.
We're staying in Paris.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to get some stuff out the way.
Alright, cool.
I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it and when exactly it's going to be done. All right? And I don't know if you got recommendations. What you want, what you know about him. Dude, is he your husband or something? Boyfriend? Your husband? How long y'all been married? No, for real, because the thing is, after I talked to you today, this phone, garbage.
Okay.
You won't be able to get a hold of it. I just want to make sure that, it's what you want. You sure you want to kill this dude?
Do we really have to?
All right.
It's just, I'd rather be as less, whatever
Okay.
with you.
All right. All right.
This would be the first of a total 15 times that Dalia would look directly into the hidden camera. With the naked eye, she would only see a small hole in the corner of the back seat. Not overly suspect, but certainly unusual, and the fact that she continuously glanced at it throughout this setup proved that she harbored suspicion. But although she had doubts, she appeared to have no hesitation in accepting the risk for the potential reward, which in this case would have been the brutal murder of her newlywed husband. In order to recite the entire sequence of events that led up to this moment, including each of the highly calculated and equally corrupt decisions that Dalia made, this would need to be a 3-part series, so for the purpose of time management, here's a quick rundown of the most notable moments. On February 2nd, 2009, Mike and Dalia made it official and got married. According to reports, Dalia appeared to be a very loving wife, always embracing her husband with public displays of affection and telling him how much she adored him, even to the point where people around them started to get uncomfortable. Just over a month into their marriage, in the early morning hours of March 12th, Michael's probation officer knocked at the door, with 2 deputies standing beside him. Michael had been convicted in 2001 for a fraud operation. He served 7 months in prison and was rendered 28 years of probation. This was the first time his PO had showed up unannounced, and Michael was informed that multiple calls had come in from an anonymous source, stating that he was selling steroids and ecstasy from the house.
So this is actually stuff that I had not heard about beforehand. That JCS, he doesn't say it outright, but there's a heavy implication that before the main event, it's implied that Dalia tried other methods of getting her newlywed husband out of the picture.
Presented him with a warrant and began to search the premises. If the allegation were proven to be true, Michael could have been sent back to prison for over 10 years. Luckily for him, no illegal substances were found. The next weekend, Dalia suggested a spur-of-the-moment romantic getaway in Palm Beach, and the couple stayed at a luxury hotel that Saturday night. But on the Sunday morning, police were waiting for them in the parking lot, stating they received an anonymous call that he was dealing drugs out of his car. They searched the vehicle, but once again found nothing. 2 weeks later, they went out to dinner, and on their way back to the car, police were waiting for them once more in the parking lot. Only this time they found a small bag of cocaine stashed inside a cigarette pack. Michael immediately broke down in tears, claiming that he had been set up and knew nothing about the drugs. Incredibly, the police believed him and decided not to make an arrest. They later testified.
I actually am also surprised about that. I mean, there has to be like some level of genuineness behind his statement that even the cops were like, man, maybe this motherfucker didn't actually have it.
That the first reason was due to the conspicuous and unusual hiding place for the cocaine. The second reason was their suspicions of his wife Dalia, who appeared emotionless as her husband was having a nervous breakdown. On the ride home, as Dalia was driving.
Then again, I mean, that's all. The JCS also makes those points, though. The hiding place, and the fact that his wife is like just nonchalant about the entire thing, like not angry, not upset, not crying, or not defending him.
Michael realized that she was the only one who knew where they were going for dinner, and was the only person who had access to the car. So he asked her point blank if she had anything to do with it, and the accusation wasn't taken well. She put the pedal to the floor and got up to 190 on the freeway, all the while screaming at the top of her lungs, claiming to be astonished that he could even accuse her of such a thing. Out of fear of his life, Michael apologized and said that he didn't mean it. The next morning, Dalia was aware that Michael's suspicions had arisen, and knew she had to divert his attention somehow. So just after making him breakfast, she gave him the incredibly exciting yet completely fictitious news that she was pregnant. Michael was ecstatic. They went out and bought baby books, and the dubious circumstances that occurred the night before appeared to have been forgotten. That very same day, Dalia contacted her ex-lover, Mike Stanley, a guy she had already used for money and dumped on 3 separate occasions beforehand.
I don't want to say the S word, but I kind of want to say the S word for this guy.
Yet managed to reel him back in with a single text.
Oh my god.
After reuniting, Dalia hatched an extravagant plan. Mike would pose as a lawyer, talk to Michael over the phone, and give him the misleading legal advice that in order for him to get off probation, he would need to move his house solely into his wife's name. Astonishingly enough, without doing his own research, Michael decided to take the advice from the mysterious caller at face value, and he and his supposedly pregnant wife then drove to the title company to transfer ownership.
Wait, wants to transfer ownership of the property to her. Weird. AZ the Kid, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Send me Artie's collection of empty beer cans. I'll pay No.
Mike Stanley was then cut off without any explanation or even a farewell, and Dalia then turned to another ex-lover,
Hey, appreciate you having here,
Shihade,
Mike.
who she must have thought was a more appropriate option for her next scheme. To cut a long sorry, I was talking over that. Let's repeat. Because this is... God! Damn it! Thank you, Kick, for the $10. Yeah, I forgot the super chats. The jump scares are... You guys can hear the jump scares now. I'm sorry. I apologize. I gotta turn that off. Remember the marinade, the tube steak jerk crew. Thank you very much. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, after this guy did his favor, she obviously dumped him like a sack of potatoes, and now she goes to the next guy. He and his supposedly pregnant wife then drove to the title company to transfer ownership. Mike Stanley was then cut off without any explanation or even a farewell, and Dalia then turned to another ex-lover, Mohammed Shihade, who she must have thought was a more appropriate option for her next scheme. To cut a long story short, she asked Mohammed to hire a hitman to kill her husband. He neither accepted nor rejected the proposal, but instead of driving to work after their meeting, he drove to the Boynton Police Department to inform them of Dalia's intentions.
Good guy, Florida man. Good guy, not only good guy, ex boyfriend, Florida man. I mean, goddamn. Thank you, Gary, for upgrading to the upgrading your membership.
The police then inserted a hidden camera into the backseat of Muhammad's vehicle and had him arrange a second rendezvous with Dalia to get definitive proof of her intentions. They got it. She was recorded on film handing over a photo of Michael, a photo of the house, and a $3,000 down payment for the assassination. The authorities had more than enough evidence to arrest Dalia immediately, but to further capture her intent and to really make the charges stick, they set up a second meeting with the supposed hitman, who is actually an undercover narcotics officer. And that brings us back to the very first moment Dalia looked directly into the hidden camera.
I know I got a picture. I looked at a picture of the house or whatever.
How soon can we get everything going?
Well, it's up to you.
Because they're afraid of being held accountable. P. Barnes.
I was going to give you what I gave you, and then that was...
Thanks, AZ Kid, for the 9.99 super chat.
Until after the fact. And then after the fact, I guess you were going to come and, like, find me or whatever. I mean, I'm good for it. Like, it's not like I don't have it or anything. I mean, I know not to fuck around with you. You know certain things, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you obviously know where I'm at.
The thing about self-destruction is that it
Well, I didn't know about that, Alpha, but that's sad. But at least he did the right thing in this instance.
happens all the time, and it's most often a very difficult thing to witness, as it can be the casual sequence of uncontrollable circumstances, such as adversity, tragedy, or misfortune. Yet when a person's self-destruction occurs solely due to their own greed and corruption, it becomes far less difficult and a lot more fascinating to behold.
Yep.
I could get it done by Wednesday if you want me to. You understand? But I gotta do my homework, you know? I gotta, know exactly where the place is and how to get out of there, how to get in and out, you understand, what the neighbors want. I gotta call the cops, report a shooting to see how fast they get to that location. There's a lot of stuff I gotta do. That's gonna cost me a lot of money.
So if we go ahead and we do it, like, at the house, like, how
Course.
soon could you do it? And
I
what
could
time
do it
are we looking at?
Wednesday morning. It's gonna be like I break into the house, didn't think he was gonna be home because everybody works in the daytime.
Right.
I'm gonna think he's at work. Boom, he's not at work, then, he gets two in the head. That's it, I take a couple things with me, break a couple windows, make it look like a robbery that went bad, and it's all over. I'm gone out of there. We're just going to be asking you questions, although they know it's going to be obvious what it is, and they already know, but, they're going to ask questions, because that's how they got to do it. But I don't know how well you handle pressure. You understand? I don't know, because I don't want...
No, I'm not going to, I'm a lot tougher than what I look. I know you see me, and you're like, oh, what a cute little girl, whatever. But I'm not.
You are. You're extremely beautiful.
Thank you, but, I just need to make sure everything's going to take care of.
Between now and when it's done, you're not going to have an option to change your mind. Even if you change your mind, I'm talking to him.
There's no changing, there's no, like, I'm determined
definitely
already. I'm positive, like, 5,000% sure, like.
Okay.
5,000% sure. 5,000%. 5,000% sure.
Around 6:30, 7 o'clock. He always walks the dog in the morning.
Okay.
He walks the dog.
Thank you, P. Barnes, for the YouTube link. Fucking hell. Thank you, James Blonde, for the $4.99 super chat.
Our doors always unlocked.
I'll be in the house by 6:30 Wednesday morning. 6 o'clock.
Hey, SC.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, and I guess
You'll hear from me.
I'll hear from you.
All right.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bye.
Dalia got out of the car and drove away, believing her husband would be murdered just 2 days later. She followed orders and went to the gym at 5:43 a.m. on Wednesday morning.
All right, I'm
Police
turning
then
that
knocked
thing
on the
off. I'm
door,
sorry.
gave Michael
It's
the
actually starting to annoy me.
news of his wife's
legitimately.
intentions before driving him to the police station. Dalia was called back to the house by a sergeant 1 hour later. Everything about the crime scene was fake, except for the news camera which captured the entire incident.
Hey, SC.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Sean.
I'm the one that
Here it
Thank you
is.
for coming. I'm sorry to call you. Listen, we had a report of a disturbance at your house, and there were shots fired. Is your husband Michael? Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am. He's been killed.
Didn't even let him finish his sentence.
He's been killed. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
Listen. No. Try to calm down. Listen, right now we need to get you to the station. We need to get you to our police station. I can't let you stay in, man. We have to do our job. If you want us to find this killer, okay, we need you to calm down. I'm gonna need you to go with these detectives, okay? Does he have enemies? Is there anyone that would want to hurt him? Okay, who would want to hurt him? Witnesses said they saw a black male running from me. I can't let you see him, ma'am. Ma'am, I cannot do this right now. Ma'am, I can't do it. Detective Yopi, I need you to take her to the station. I can't. Ma'am, go with these detectives. If you want to help your husband, okay? If you want to help your husband, you need to go to the station with these gentlemen and tell us everything you know about who he knows, who he's connected to. Don't worry, we've already taken care of your dogs with animal control for right now. Everything's under control. And we'll take care of everything else, okay? Thank you, guys.
Protocol that we have to do with this, with your wife. We got to advise you of your rights, so you know, okay? If you don't understand any of them, you just tell me, and I'll stop and repeat. And first of all, let me just tell you, I'm sorry for your loss.
I just want to see my husband, please.
All right, honey.
I love my husband. I love you, too.
No, you don't want to see him.
I just want to see him.
Believe me, you don't. Could you listen, please?
Miranda warning.
This is something, because we're going to videotape, that I need you to sign also. It gives us the right to videotape it. You want to read that?
I don't want to be videotaped.
Well, you're being videotaped. That's all part of it.
It's at this moment, she should shut the fuck up and get a lawyer.
Whose number is this?
That's your home number.
Oh.
Okay. Listen, is there anybody that you know that you think would want to kill your husband?
My husband's on probation.
For what?
Dalia recounts Michael's entire criminal history in vivid detail, gives multiple reasons as to why someone would want him dead, and even names a potential suspect, who in reality had nothing to do with the situation, and was only a former business associate.
People weren't happy
Almost as if she had something planned and rehearsed.
that he was getting off probation because it's a lot of money he's got to pay back.
Well, when you say people, who are you talking about? People that were involved with him before, or?
A little bit of everything. This was supposed to be something, when he got off probation, it was supposed to be between us. And he went and he told, friends of his, he told, certain people, and everyone kind of talks, and he's constantly running into a lot of the guys that he was on probation with. Like a couple days ago, we ran into someone, and that was a target. and the guy comes up to us, and he's like with organized crime. It seems like a lot of the guys from Boca are starting to move up here. And we're constantly running into, a lot of the guys that he knows and things like that. So it was a lot of money. It was $191,000 that he had to pay back. So I know certain names, and I know certain families, they were on the news, like the guys that all just went away.
Mm-hmm. What nationality are you? Spanish?
My mom's from Peru and my dad's from Egypt.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to tell you everything, the whole, so
Please
you
do.
guys kind of know
Yeah,
what's going on.
I do.
Okay.
I want to know.
So that's what happened with that. So he didn't know how to tell everybody what was going on with everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's the funny thing, Deacon. Deacon asks, now here's the thing, Artie, if those folks find out that she mentioned them, i.e. the potential, I think she mentioned mob connections and name dropped an individual, business associates, and other associations. Now, if they find out she mentioned them, what's the likelihood she gets to talking to while she's in? Fairly likely. I would say it's definitely not a 0% chance that someone's going to give her a talking to while she's inside.
I don't know if you know, he was shot. He was shot twice. And I want you to know all this.
Do you know this?
Did they tell you out there?
Not exactly. I mean, they told me he was shot. When I was at the gym, I got a phone call. I didn't hear my phone ring, and I called back, and they told me just to please come, that something happened at my house.
Yeah. He would, evidently, your husband answered the door, and they took him back upstairs. And in your bedroom...
They have cameras, though. Why would he answer
Hey, thank you, Kelly, for the $5 super chat.
the door? Because he doesn't answer for anybody he doesn't know. I mean, the only person, like his probation officer, is like the only. You know what I mean?
I have no idea.
He would not answer the door. We have cameras, like, at our house.
Maybe he knows this person. I didn't know you had cameras.
We have.
Thank you very much, Kivy, Texas, for the $10 super chat. Happy Wednesday, Artie. Hashtag Pickle Game. We love you, even though you're a Cowboys fan. I swear to God, I am actually going to turn this thing off.
Because when we got there, some of your neighbors heard the commotion.
We have cameras. The front door has camera,
Oh,
and
that's
the back
great.
door has camera, but they don't record.
And they don't record.
Nobody knows, but they don't. We told everybody they record, but they don't record.
Oh, God.
Because he didn't want them to make a hole in the garage.
Right now, I'm going to go out and get in touch with the officers at the scene. I want to see if the house was burglarized.
Okay.
All right, just hang on for a second.
Thank you.
The lead investigator returns 16 minutes later.
Now, you know that I advised you of your rights, right?
Yes, you have.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Okay. The game's over with. Okay?
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
There's no more games with you and I. Now we're going to get down to serious business. I want to know if you know this guy. Come here. Bring this guy in here. Get over here. Get over here.
They bring in the undercover cop who remains in character, acting like he's been caught, but refuses to allege Dalia's involvement. She happily plays along.
You know who this guy is?
No.
You've never seen him before?
I've never seen him before. Ever.
Do you know her?
Put your head up and look at her.
Put your head up.
I've never seen him.
What were you doing coming out of her house? Get him out of here.
Dalia was able to use her looks to get what she wanted out of life, which of itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. People do what they can to get by, which sometimes means relying on physical appearance, and in some cases they have no other option. Yet the majority of those who navigate life in this manner do so without intentionally hurting anyone. Dalia went out of her way to not only hurt, but to literally slaughter the person whom she had tricked into falling in love with her, and for no other reason than monetary gain. She hadn't come from a broken home, nor was she a battered wife. There were no mitigating circumstances whatsoever, only the cold-blooded pursuit to get what she wanted, how she wanted, impartial to the suffering she would cause as a result.
And that's what makes this case interesting.
In the next moments, her karmic debt will have finally caught up, and for perhaps the first time in her adult life, neither sex appeal nor her fabricated charm will be enough to save her from the consequences of her actions.
You're going to jail today for solicitation of murder. You're under arrest. That's when you a police officer. We filmed everything that you did, recorded everything that you did. You're going to jail for solicitation of first-degree murder of your husband.
I didn't do anything.
Did you hear that?
Oh no!
Be gone, fuck!
Oh my goodness.
Everything, listen to me. Everything has been recorded. You were photographed in the convertible when you sat in his car in the front of CVS. What do you want to do? What do you want to do here?
I didn't
Dalia?
do anything.
Listen to
I
me.
didn't do anything.
You're going to
I
jail.
didn't do anything, please. I didn't do anything.
Don't tell me you didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything.
You're going to jail today. As soon as I'm done, they're going to come in.
Now, in fairness to her, her insistent categorical denial is probably the best play she can make, other than saying I don't want to talk to you anymore and I want my lawyer. That's what she should be saying right now. Second best thing she should be saying right now is a consistent categorical denial. Not that, not that it's going to save her, but still.
Here and handcuff you and take you to the Palm Beach County Jail book you for solicitation of first-degree murder on your husband. Your husband is well and alive.
Thank God.
Oh, yeah, thank God.
Oh, thank God. Oh, my God. She really is going to lay it on thick.
No, he doesn't want to see you.
I so wanted to see him.
He doesn't want to see you.
Please.
You better quit your playing. Listen to me. I want you to quit your acting and get this over with.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Okay. You know what? You need a real good attorney. You need a real good attorney because we're going to show them the film where you say you're 5,000% sure you want him dead. You think I made that up?
Ooh.
You think I made that up? It's exactly
He didn't.
what's going to happen. I'm talking with you. When I leave this room, no other officer will ever talk to you again. The next time we see you is when you're in trial. You can make it right here, or you're going to trial, and you're going to do life in prison. You want to cooperate with us, whatever you want to do. It's over and done once I walk out. I'm not coming back in to talk to you. And no one else is either. What do you want to do before I leave here? Because the next officer comes here, going to handcuff you and take you to the jail.
I'd like to see my husband, please.
No, he doesn't want to see you. He doesn't want to see you. I'm leaving now. Can I have an officer come in here and cuff the person?
I don't know what's going on, please.
We'll go ahead and arrest her for solicitation first degree murder.
What's happening, please?
Can you stand up?
Stand up, please.
Oh my God.
Dalia is then granted her fraudulent wish and comes face to face with her husband.
Oh my God.
Oh my, yeah, this is amazing to watch. Let us.
He's alive.
Come here, please. Come here. Mike, come here. Come here, please. Come here.
Can't fix it.
Why not? I didn't do anything
I
to
heard
you.
you.
Mike, come here, please. Come here.
Okay. Thank you. We'll take her back to booking, please.
Dalia was given roughly 15 minutes in her cell to calm down and have reality sink in. She was then brought back to the interrogation room, where two less confrontational detectives would pursue a confession.
Now this is actually also interesting here. I do recall the first officer and the full-on confrontation, but now we go to the next stage, which again I would love to see Deacon's take here. Now we go to the second stage with these two officers that are less hostile and seeing what they can do to get a confession out of her.
They were hoping the immediate switch from hostility to patience would influence her compliance.
Have you been advised of your rights before? So yes, your Miranda rights?
Yeah, but I wanted to make a phone call.
Okay. Earlier this morning, Sergeant Sheridan read you your rights from that card, right? And you understood your Miranda rights, your Fifth Amendment rights?
Yeah, but I wanted to make a phone call.
Okay, so the phone call, we will let you do that later. Not right now, though.
But while I'm still here,
Yeah, later on we will. Okay? We want to,
Did you understand your rights or no? You didn't understand them?
I wasn't really paying attention when you
Okay.
said yes to everything.
Oh my fucking God.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and read them again, okay? And if you have any questions, just go ahead and ask me and I'll explain them to you, okay?
okay, do you understand your Fifth Amendment rights now? All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go to the regular restroom, please, before we start? Is that okay?
Is it emergency? Okay.
And ask me and I'll explain them to you, okay?
Okay, do you understand your Fifth Amendment rights now? All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go to the regular restroom, please, before we start?
What?
Is that okay?
Is it emergency?
I didn't feel comfortable going in the other one. I'm sorry. I
No
won't go
problem.
long.
No problem.
You mind if I call you Dalia?
Yeah, please.
Okay. All right. Do you understand what happened today? What's going on here?
A little.
Okay.
Now, slowly, I'm understanding a little bit better.
What's your understanding?
I was told one thing, and now it's like slowly, like all these things are. I don't really know what happened.
Do you know that you are arrested today? You're being arrested.
That part I understood.
Okay. Do you know what for?
Not really, no.
You don't know the charge?
No, nobody said anything to
Okay,
me.
go ahead and tell her the charge, Alex.
Okay. You're being arrested for soliciting to commit murder. Okay, which that means is you attempted to hire someone to kill somebody else, meaning your husband. Okay? And that's why you're here, and that's what you're getting charged with.
Okay, no.
You don't understand, or?
No, I never did that.
Okay, but that's what you're being charged with,
Okay.
and we have plenty of evidence to back it up. Okay? So, with your rights in mind, we want to give you an opportunity to do some soul searching maybe, and maybe get a lot off your chest and tell us the truth. That's what we want to hear.
The evidence against her was overwhelming, hence the lack of interrogation techniques being initiated. The detectives feel that this is an open and shut case, and whether the suspect chooses to confess at this moment or not, they believe the eventual outcome will be the same.
I mean...
So they're confident, yeah. They're just letting her know in the nicest way possible to get a lawyer or confess. But I also believe the narrator JCS saying that they don't really have to try all that hard because they feel like they have her dead to rights.
This has been worked for a couple of days now. It's not just the first day we're doing this, reference to this case. And we have a lot of information to support our charge. It's just not a quick little thing. So, you know, we're going to know when you're lying to us and all that. We just want to hear the truth. I mean, it's done. It's over with now, you know, and this is your opportunity to tell us the truth. That's all we want to hear, and we know the truth. So, I know it's hard to commit to that, but now's your time, you know. Do you have anything to say about this?
I'm going to talk to my husband.
The chutzpah on this woman to insist on wanting to talk to her husband before even asking for an attorney.
Okay, well, you can't talk to your husband. He's not here right now. Let him go home. He's taking care of the house and the dog, so...
The good thing about this whole thing is that nobody got killed. The tragedy was prevented today. You could look at it that way, you know? That's simple.
A big tragedy. I mean, someone's life, so... Everything's on tape, Dalia. There's no denying it. You know? Everything's on tape, and it's not a bluff, so...
You gotta understand this, okay? Dalia, listen to me for a second,
He
okay?
didn't do anything.
Listen to me for a second, okay? This is on our first day, okay? It's definitely not our second day, all right? This is an ongoing investigation, all right? Not only do we have your videotape, we have every conversation that you had leading to this point, all right? So for you to sit here and deny that you haven't done anything, it's not gonna help. Every little thing that you've done since this started, we've been involved in it. Do you understand that? I mean, I'm just telling you the truth. That's the truth.
I just want to go home.
Well,
I just want to go home. Well, that's not happening tonight, lady.
unfortunately, you're not going home, okay? You're looking at some serious charges here. Do you understand that you made the attempt to hire somebody to kill your husband? That's how serious this is. Okay, you can sit here and shake your head and deny it, but I'm going to tell you right now, all right, when the jury and the judge sees that videotape of you having this conversation, making a deal, all right, that's how far you went, all right? It's not about denying it wasn't me, I didn't do anything, because the video
The audio is not going to lie. All right, and all the evidence that we have collected throughout this investigation.
You sound like a fool right now denying this, because...
Kinda.
Like my partner just said, everything's on tape. Video and audio. I know, but you're not going home, you see? You're being arrested, so you're not going home.
So what do I have to go?
What? Oh my fucking god. Listen, oh my god, I need another drink. I already need another one, but I'm gonna let that line that she says right there, that statement, I'm gonna let that simmer for a bit. Fucking unreal. She basically thinks that she still has the ability to bargain or talk her way out of this situation.
Home. I'd like to go home.
I know, but you can't. It's impossible. You're going to the Palm Beach County Jail after this. You can't go home. You're being arrested. This is a game. In your mind, it might be a little game, but this is very, very serious. Murder? Are you kidding me?
Dalia refuses to give any sort of acknowledgement whatsoever, even after being confronted with the hidden camera footage. She was then taken to the Palm Beach Detention Center, professing her innocence the entire way. When she finally got to jail, she accepted the offer to make a phone call. Now, try and imagine yourself in her position. Now think of the absolute last person on planet Earth that you would call at that moment.
And this is why I put this in the thumbnail. Again, this is why I put this in the thumbnail. The level of the audacity of doing this.
Yeah, what's up?
Nothing, Mike. Can you please come here?
Hey, listen, I don't want to fight with you. Honestly, I can't help you.
Mike,
don't you understand what just happened?
What they're saying is not true.
How is that possible?
Like, I'm sitting here. It's not true. It's not possible. You wouldn't even give me 2 minutes to talk to you, but it's not possible. What they're saying is not true.
How in the hell did I hear it and see it?
Like, I heard what you heard. It's not true. I heard what you heard, and I saw what you saw. Everything they showed you, they showed me.
And how is it not? How are you telling me that?
I am giving you my word that it's not true.
What Dalia is doing here is known as gaslighting, a textbook form of manipulation.
This entire conversation should be in any form of psychology textbook. Like criminal psychology, regular psychology. This should be that literal textbook example in every psychology class.
Used by psychopaths, sociopaths, and all those with narcissistic personality disorder. She is trying to cultivate doubt into Michael's mind by making him question his own perceptions. She does this by using persistent denial and misdirection to try and destabilize his thought process. Yet the hole that Dalia had dug for herself on this occasion seems a little bit too deep for her device to have any sort of effect.
What do you... Guy, I couldn't help you if I wanted to.
Mike, please, I need an attorney. Can you please help me? That's not true.
Your brother was here, and I spoke to him, and he's going to go talk to your mom. I called them for you already, right?
This is not true.
I heard, Dalia, too. Like, how do you explain what I saw and heard?
Like, I am limited on my phone call. You know more than anybody. It's not true. Just give me time so I can talk to you.
What did it say? I saw it. I heard it.
I saw what you saw, and I heard what you heard.
Okay, what the f***? You said you wanted to have me killed. I heard that.
It's not true. That is not
true. How is it not true?
How can you believe that?
I heard your voice.
How can you believe it?
It's a fucking video! we're not at the layer of deep fake at this point. It's hard. It's very, very God, oh my God. Imagine this was in 2021. She would probably say, oh, this is a deep fake operation by the cops. God, Jesus.
What is the point? I heard you say it. It's not. I heard what you heard, and it's not. What did I hear then? I heard you say. I heard the tape. Okay, I heard the tape, and I saw pictures, and I saw the whole 9 yards. I saw all of it. So why would you meet a guy in a parking lot? Explain that. I'm sitting here on the phone. I will tell you when I see you in person. Please. I can't come there anyway. I'm not allowed there. That's not true. Who said that? They tell you that on purpose. That's not true. I don't know what you could tell me. Even if, let's pretend, I said, oh, it's all better. I can't, they're charging your ass. Don't you get it? Like, I didn't do anything. Please.
Hey, Lavender.
I don't know what to say to you. I can't help you. What do you mean? It's out of my hands. You're not even trying. What am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do for you, bitch? What the fuck? What? You tried to have me killed. And to answer your question, Connie, I'm not sure. I don't, it could possibly be witness intimidation. Maybe. But I'm not 100%. I don't know if it's inherently illegal for her to call her husband, but it depends. It could be witness intimidation or witness tampering. I don't know. That's an interesting question.
I saw you with this guy in the truck or whatever the fuck it was. I saw it. I heard your voice.
Okay, Simon.
Clearly. What? I don't understand. Did not say those things. Period. So how did they get your voice on that tape recorder? Like, I'm limited with my time, please. You gotta be kidding me, man. Dalia, I heard you say that shit. Like, I'm telling you right now, okay? You can't fix it. How are you gonna tell me that you didn't say it, you didn't do it? When I saw you say it and I saw you do it. Do you have any idea how I was when they told me what supposedly happened to you, how I got and how I was and how everything?
Do you not see how well I acted?
Can you meet me in person so I can talk to you? No. Why? Why should I? Because you know me. I never, ever, 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 ever in my wildest dreams ever want that for you, ever. Well, you said it, Dalia. You hired a guy. No, I did not say anything. Period. I didn't say anything. I don't know how you're going to actually have the nerve to sit here and lie to me now. I can't help you even if I wanted to. Do you get it? Why don't you want to? It's out of my hands. You're not even trying. It's different if you're trying. You're not even trying. What could I possibly do for you? I don't get it.
What? Try to pretend that you didn't say what you said?
What could I do? You're not even trying.
Oh my God.
Trying what? I'm like a dumbass. Okay, they're getting ready to take me again. Dalia, I'm gonna give you some advice, and you need to listen. You're gonna be lying around in there for a little while, a couple days. You need to just try and relax and just go with it, and keep to yourself, and don't say a lot. Like, I love you. Don't do this to me. I'm sitting here. Everybody treated me awful, sir. I didn't do anything to you. You know me. Everyone here seems awful to me. I can't help you. There's nothing I can do to help you. Know what I'll do? You know what I'll do for you? Seriously? What? You sign my house back over to me. I'll help your mom.
Give me back my house, and then maybe I'll help you out. I'll help your mom. Not you. I'll help your mom. Give me my house back, and I'll help your mom. Thank you, Smarty Marty, for the $4.99 super chat. Deny, make your own reality, and make others believe it like flat earthers.
Mentally. Give me my house back.
That's it.
That's it, what?
Are you fucking
I'll
serious?
have the papers sent over to you somehow. You'll sign them over to me, and then I will help your mother. Okay?
I'm not signing anything.
I know you wouldn't sign anything. I knew that wasn't going to happen, so I can't help you.
Fuck. He's like, yeah, I knew you weren't going to say yes.
Okay?
That's what you're thinking about. I'm sitting here rotting and you're thinking about...
Now you start having me killed. I just offered to help you, and again, you have the balls to say no to me.
Oh! Shit!
Be gone, fuck!
You just basically said F you to me, which is hilarious considering your situation and considering what the F just happened today. Alright?
The gun getting fingerprinted now.
Dalia called her mother soon after, who was already informed of the situation by Michael and appeared to be a little bit more understanding over the whole situation.
Hello? Mom, I'm in jail.
I know, Dalia. I know. I find out.
I need you to call Mike in New York.
Okay, who do you want me to call? What is it?
I need you to call Mike in New York, please.
I called already and I called that. Everybody knows. What is it you want me to do? Where are you exactly?
I'm in the county jail. I need you to call. What did Mike say? Is he coming?
Everybody's coming, Dalia. We're going to go ahead and get your lawyer. Okay? Don't worry.
Again, I only have sympathy for the mother because it's nothing for her, but I'm not going to rag on the mom trying to help out her daughter. That I'm not going to make judgments upon that.
Are you in Gun Club?
Yes, I'm here. Mom, Mike did this to me.
Okay, Dalia.
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
You did. I know you didn't. I know you didn't. Where are you? You in Gun Club?
Yes, I'm here in Gun Club, and I heard Mike is at the house. I want him out of my house.
Okay, well, right now we're going to need to have a lawyer first,
my
okay?
house. The title's in...
Oh, well, oh my God!
I'm here in Gun Club, and I heard
Mike did this to me? I want him out of my house? What, the house that, oh, he signed over to her?
He's at the house. I want him out of my house.
Okay, well, right now we're going to need to have a lawyer first, okay?
My house. The title's in my name.
All right, okay, don't worry about that right now.
Dalia spent 20 months in jail before standing trial in April 2011. Her defense was bizarre. They claimed Michael Dipolitto was a fan of reality TV, and the murder-for-hire plot was a hoax, just so he could get on television.
I'm just having fun with it. Come on, I'm with you.
You having fun with me? Let me ask you something. Is this fun, Mr. Dipolitto?
This sucks.
Okay. Was it fun when you got arrested?
No.
Was it fun when you went to court?
Horrible.
Okay. So, is there anything funny about this proceeding at all, Mr. Dipolitto?
The questions you're asking me, some of them, yeah.
You don't like them, do you?
It's ridiculous. We're not here because of me. Well, I might as well, you might as well put me up next. I mean, what are we doing here?
The verdict came a month later on May 13th. The jury needed just 3 hours of deliberation.
Verdict, we the jury find as follows. As to count one, we find the defendant guilty of solicitation to commit...
Later on May 13th. The jury needed just 3 hours of deliberation.
3 hours. 3 hours. That's a conviction.
Verdict, we the jury find as follows. As to count one, we find the defendant guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. If you find the defendant guilty, do you find that there is a firearm included in the solicitation? Yes.
And you and I have spoken previously about you wanting to share some comments with the court as the judge considers the appropriate sentence in this case?
Yes, I do. I have no words to explain why this unfortunate event happened. And I am sorry that it did. I don't support what it happened. But I know that you have the power in deciding what happens to the next phase of Dalia's life, in showing mercy. In life, we make mistakes. Sometimes we will deserve a second chance. Dalia's not dangerous. Your Honor, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, please, to have some mercy on her. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Where do I begin? Let me just start off by saying, when I married my wife, I was very much in love with her. And I thought we were doing things that normal married people do. And I was a very good husband. And I provided everything we needed. And, that being said, lo and behold, that wasn't the case. I don't know who these people are talking about, but it's not that girl. And I feel bad. I don't even want to be here. Since this started, I've always put my hand out. Give me my house. Let's be done with it. I'll beg the judge to even do whatever. I don't personally gain anything from this. The difference between me and I guess what's going on here, I went to prison. You know how I got there? I said I did it. Yeah, I did it. Let's get this over with and handle it. That hasn't happened here. I mean, this girl doesn't feel sorry for anything. She still doesn't think she did anything.
Damn. Fuck. He's like, you know what? At least I was honest when I fucked up.
And believe me, I don't want to get up here and be nasty, but the reality is I sit and listen to this. Even today, we're talking about a retrial? Retrial for what? I mean, what is it we're doing? Who didn't understand what happened here? They still don't want to admit anything happened. Nothing bad happened. It's all good. Let's just all go home and it's fine. I'm not okay. My father died. I was supposed to have been able to travel to see him. I didn't get to see my dad. My dad's dead. And, that was part of my plan. Get off probation, go see my family, spend time with my father. If she would have owned it like a normal person and would have owned up to something, I would respect that. But instead, when I get to court, I hear that I want a reality television show. As soon as we walk out here, they're filing for an appeal. You know why? Because they think everybody in this room's stupid. That's why. Because we're all stupid, and they're smarter than us. And nobody did anything. And God, she's a great girl. When I met her, I thought all those things. I don't want to offend anybody, and believe me, I feel sorry for everybody that's in here crying. But you know what? I got to feel sorry for myself. Nobody's helping me. My mother had a nervous breakdown. I'm like, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. I just don't know how I'm feeling some days. And it's just not fair. Like I said, and I mean this from my heart, I wish we weren't here. I wish she would have did anything but what she did.
The jury's found you guilty, Ms. Dipolitto, of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. So my task is to figure out what an appropriate sentence would be, somewhere between 48 months and 30 years in the Department of Corrections.
Between 48 months and 30 years. 48 months and 30 years.
Rehabilitate you from what you have done, and I think that's a function of spinning your moral compass. I think your moral compass is askew. I think that it's something that it's not like getting a drug addict off drugs or an alcoholic off alcohol, but rehabilitation, I hope that occurs as part of this sentence. A big variable, and the one that's most conspicuous, is punishment. You impose a sentence to punish bad behavior, criminal behavior, and that's going to be a large component of this sentence. And also a valid factor in imposing a sentence is retribution. And retribution is giving society the vent, the outlet, the sense of that person got what he or she
justice. Societal justice.
So I consider those factors and try to figure out what weighs most in tailoring a sentence for you. And it has to do with the facts of the case, and it has to do with who you are and what you were thinking. And here's the way I see it. I think that a lot of it is what were your motivations? What were you doing? What were you thinking when that was going on? And I just come to the most obvious conclusion that you were motivated by greed, by avarice. There's no evidence that you were being beaten and you were defending yourself, that you were a battered wife, that you were an alcoholic, that you were the victim of child abuse, that you were somehow acting in defense of yourself, even under a misguided notion.
In other words, there are no mitigating circumstances to weigh in her favor. There's no evidence that he abused her. There's no evidence of any sort of childhood neglect. No evidence of any sort of, as he said, misguided notions that she was defending herself when she committed this act. There's none of that here.
There's none of that here. All of your conduct was just for self-indulgence and just trying to take every bit of money that you could get a hold of so that you could go on and live this fast life. In as early as March, you began this relentless campaign to get rid of your husband. First, you're thinking, well, I'll just get him sent off to prison and that would be good enough. You used guile and sophistry to dupe others into your web of deception. You were the puppet master that was pulling all the strings. You weren't acting at the direction of somebody else. You weren't under the influence of somebody else. You were the one calling the shots. And you were engaged in a course of conduct not over some momentary lapse of good judgment. This wasn't like, I ran a red light, I shouldn't have done that. Or, what was I thinking? I had the gun in my hand and I shot it because I was angry. It was weeks and months that you continued with these different schemes to try to rid yourself of your husband that was just something out of a novel. And it was horrible to watch it unfold as the trial testimony came out. It was pure evil. After those attempts to have your husband taken out of the picture by
Tani, before she hired the hitman, she tried multiple times to get her husband, who at the time, or even at this time, is on probation, in trouble. In other words, getting him caught by the police for drugs, for one act or another that would send him back to prison for 10 years. Like, he was on probation for like 20 years, and if he was caught and convicted for some sort of bad behavior, like drug possession, for example, the conditions of his probation would trigger, and he'd be sent immediately for 10 years. She tried to do that to him, but she failed.
Of sending him back to prison for a long period of time, and when you learned that it wasn't good enough to have the house in your name, that if you wanted to sell the house, you were still going to need his signature, I think that's when it started to turn to even more sinister behavior. Mr. Salnick indicates that, being remorseful or saying I'm sorry really doesn't mean anything, and I disagree. I think, even today, Mr. Dipolitto, still your husband, I think that I'm sorry, it's my fault, I did it, would have gone a long way. Not only for his healing, but it would have perhaps suited your own purpose. But I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard an ounce of remorse. The opposite of that. When confronted with the obvious facts, the most powerful testimony as to who you are is when you were in the police station and your husband walked by and looked in, and you were begging him, tell him this is all wrong, tell him this is all wrong. And then later on the telephone, you were saying, he was confronting you with the evidence. I saw the tapes. I saw the videotape of you trying to have me killed. And you just cold-bloodedly said to him, I saw what you saw, and I'm telling you that's not true. And it was astonishing, the cold-blooded denial that you're willing to go to try to avoid the obvious. You have a certain facet of who you are with your mom, your sister, your brother, and they see the good in you, as siblings and parents should. But who you are when no one's looking, other than a camera in a police car, is quite different. And I think that peers deeply into your soul and speaks volumes of the way you were presenting this.
Hey, thank you for the $5 tip.
Quite chilling to witness that. Based upon those factors, then, Ms. Dipolitto,
now you say that, I
accept the verdict of the jury. I'll find you guilty. I'll adjudicate you guilty. And I'm sentencing you to 20 years in the Department of Corrections.
20 years. 20 years. Now I'm hesitant about saying your name because I'm afraid I'm going to get it wrong. Now you say that, thanks for showing us this. I'll check out his channel, and you've been pronouncing my name correctly.
Dalia's first encounter with retribution was a big one, yet it didn't last long.
It did not.
The sentence was thrown out on a technicality 1 month later.
And I believe it had to deal... And I believe the technicality was, fucking hell, jury instructions. I think that was the case. Thank you, Akira808, 499 super chat. Interesting case. Thanks for bringing this.
And she was able to remain under house arrest for 6 years, awaiting her next trial. Her second trial began in 2016.
Dalia Dipolitto takes
Don't worry.
the stand with an unusual defense.
Dalia says it was all part of a plan she hatched with her then husband, Michael Dipolitto, and former lover, Mohammed Shahadi, to get famous. Her now ex-husband, Mike Dipolitto, says he couldn't wait to see what she'd say in court.
Let me know when she's going. I'll be sitting in the back with popcorn. I'd love to see this.
In an exclusive pretrial interview with 2020, this
Okay. I don't want to say the P word, but I'm thinking the P word when it comes to her being allowed to sit for a nationally televised interview. Again, she's going back to trial for soliciting murder, but she's got this fucking interview with 2020.
past December, Dipolitto said she's just misunderstood.
Who is Dalia Dipolitto?
Understanding, sweet, and compassionate.
Manipulative?
Wait a minute, you're right. How was she allowed to do this? She was under house arrest.
Conniving? I got more than 3. Malicious?
Baited, enticed, and entrapped.
Her attorney, Brian Claypool, says Dalia is the innocent victim of a fame-hungry police department.
What the police department did is...
This is... Okay, this is what I heard when I watched this. Was that this was the defense attorney's strategy. I guess I thought this was the first strategy, but this is for the retrial. This is what I heard, was that the whole strategy behind the second defense lawyer dealt with like a fucking entrapment BS. But I'll let him explain.
They found out she's an attractive woman. In their minds, they're like ching ching ching. This is a perfect skit. There's no question about it that the Boynton Beach Police Department was dead set on manufacturing a crime here.
How damn...
Oh my fucking god, these fucking... Oh my god, these are the guys when people think of my profession. When people think of my profession and the opinion of my profession, they think of these motherfuckers.
Are these tapes to your client?
They are damaging. People form opinions. Our job in the second trial is to provide
that's attorney at law
for the jury to see that this is not really what it looks like.
Claypool claims she only kept up the act because Mohammed threatened her with a gun.
He threatened to hurt me and to hurt my family.
Did you believe he would?
Absolutely, yes.
So she...
Funny that wasn't brought up in the first trial.
Was threatened to act out a hoax on a videotape. I mean, do you understand how ridiculous that sounds to a lot of people watching this?
Yeah, that's not ridiculous. You've got a 6'2", 230-pound man with a gun
saying you will do this
absolutely
YouTube hoax or else.
Right.
5,000.
Right. Yeah. The conviction in that voice.
It's not ridiculous. You've got a 6'2", 230-pound man with a gun
saying you will do this
absolutely
YouTube hoax or else.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
5,000% sure, not 100% sure, not 1,000% sure, but 5,000% sure. How do you explain that?
I look at that video and I see somebody who's
fucking ...
struggling with whether she's really sure.
She's struggling with...
Wow.
God damn it! Stop it!
Well...
How is she struggling if she's 5,000% sure?
Well, you might find that humorous, but...
All of us find it hilarious.
When I hear people say they're sure, I'm 110% sure.
Why didn't she just tell police her version of what happened?
I've asked her that question too. Oh, yeah, everybody.
I mean, your guess is as good as mine.
Hey, Sergeant, this was just a YouTube thing we were putting together. She was in a state of shock.
I couldn't react. Completely froze. I wanted to get out of it myself. Paralyzed. The tape was a show. It was a tape. That was the purpose of it.
You were acting in those tapes.
Yes.
But you're telling the truth now.
Yes.
Why should we believe that?
Because it's what happened. It's the truth.
State of Florida versus Dalia A. Dipolitto, defendant. Verdict. We, the jury, find as follows. As to count 1, we find the defendant guilty of solicitation to commit
guilty again
first-degree murder as charged in the information. So say we all, the 16th day of June, 2017, in West Palm Beach.
Dalia Dipolitto was sentenced to 16 years in prison on
16 years. All right. You know, not 20, but 16 years is fine.
July 21st, 2017. She was not given the possibility of parole.
No parole!
And her release date is set for August 24th, 2032.
16 years, no parole.
Her appeal was rejected by the Florida Supreme Court in September of 2019, and her sentence is now definitive. She is currently being held at the Lowell Correctional Institution in Gainesville, Florida, where she is expected to remain until the day of release. She will be 50 years old.
If your crazy prostitute wife that you gave your house to tries to get you thrown in jail on drug charges and then tries to pay someone to murder you, it's got to be somewhat satisfying to have that person call and ask you for help. It's like, I really need your help. And you're like, yeah, I bet you do. But you tried to kill me. I spit it.
Philosopher King gave $2 already. Contrast collars? What do you mean by contrast collars? You know, I don't mind contrast collars. If they are what I think you're referring to, I don't mind them. Even though it may make me look like Gordon Gekko sometimes, they're pretty cool. Robbie Anderson, $4.99. She was having relations with her attorneys. I'm not gonna go that far. The attorneys are gonna be the attorneys. They're going to do what they can in the best interest of their client, even if it's completely fucking ridiculous. But I'm not going to make those allegations. But the entirety of that I heard about was fucking amazing, because I heard about this before. This is one of those cases that I did actually know about. But she just, no remorse, no mitigating factors, nothing. She just wanted his money and his assets, and he wanted him out of the picture, and she wanted to further herself the entire time. There's nothing about that. But it was wild. But I don't want to move this off topic. I want to keep the live stream on topic. So I'm going to end the stream here. I want to thank you guys for coming to watch. It was kind of a spur of the moment, but I know you guys wanted to see me do more of these breakdowns. I do want to do more with JCS. I'm still trying to work with Nat to see if she has some time to do one. I'll be sure to let you guys know ahead of time, of course. Tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to have a stream. Oh, no, of course I'm going to have a stream. Thursday, tomorrow, guys, if you haven't checked it out yet, what am I saying? Oh my God, I'm ruining myself. Tomorrow, Thursday night, a little bit of a preview. I have an interview with a an independent journalist, an actual one, mind you, who has had the skinny on a police impersonator out of Pittsburgh. And you guys can check my channel. I have the live stream set up for tomorrow. And he's a police impersonator who also had his has his own Grand Theft Auto Online role-playing server. He was role-playing as a first responder, EMT cop, in Grand Theft Auto Online, but has since moved to the real world. He was he was alleged to have committed something in last year in June. The cops issued a search warrant of his house and his vehicle back then. And it wasn't until, I believe, March or June of this year that they finally issued formal charges against him. He has a court date August 16th. That's what we have here. And he's going to talk to me about this guy. He had a YouTube channel, but it's since been taken down. He had a YouTube channel, but he doesn't have one anymore. YouTube and Twitch. But I will be showcasing you links to his actual RP server community. He apparently still has a TikTok on there. But yes, I will be talking to the guy, Dan. What's his face? Fuck! Some old dude, $10. Thank you very much. Sounds like my ex, except not good as lying. Thank you very much, man. But Captain Dan the Fireman pointed me out to this guy, who then pointed me out to the journalist who has been following this person's antics, who has been involved in this community for a long time and has now finally been caught. I believe he's out of Pittsburgh, Foster McTeague, or Butler, Pennsylvania. Butler County? Allegheny County and Butler County, around that area. So that's where we're at. I don't want to spoil it anymore, but that's what we're dealing with for tomorrow. So please stay tuned for that. Friday, I think I'm gonna be off on Friday, but Thursday, please watch out for that. I think it's gonna be fucking amazing. I'm still doing more digging because this guy actually, a lot of what this guy's been doing actually goes a little bit even deeper than impersonation, but we'll get there when we get there. Thank you guys again for watching. Thank all of you for your super chats and donations. Again, if you can, please hit that like button if you haven't already. It really helps the channel grow. And I will see you guys next time. Take care. Oh, wait. Hold on, I got something to show you guys first. No! I wanted to show this to you guys. There we go. Credits. I actually have end credits, y'all. We have end credits. And that's it. I thought it would be longer. Leave me alone.